Hey there everybody, this is Clay, the Average Gamer, and so tonight, I'm actually looking forward and excited about being able to bring you my final Mortal Kombat review. For those of you that have kind of been keeping up, I've been working on this for a while, and it's actually taken me a little longer than I initially anticipated due to traveling for work and then the release of the new Call of Duty map pack. So it's kind of been interrupted here and there, but I finally think I've got a really good grasp of what this game has to offer and who this game is going to be for and what you can expect for the money that you pay for it. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the review. And the first question I like to ask or answer for everybody whenever I start these is, who exactly, after playing this, who is this game for? And this game is primarily a fighting game, and whenever I say primarily, I mean that is what you are going to do. So if you do not like these one versus one 2D fighting games, you might want to look somewhere else, because that is absolutely all you do in this game is fight. Second, guys, you can't mind the blood, the gore. It's in there, and there's no way around it, so you've got to like that stuff. Also, someone who doesn't mind having the repetitive game style. Again, they disguise this fighting in different ways, but in the end you're doing the same thing. But it does have a lot to do, which is a good thing. And another thing, you kind of got to be patient. You got to have a person that's patient and doesn't mind learning these characters and learning the controls for each of these characters, because they can be pretty complicated and sometimes get a little bit difficult. And anyway, so make sure that you are somebody that is patient and doesn't mind putting in the time to learn these characters in order to be a successful player. Now, what can you do in Mortal Kombat is another question, and like I said earlier, you fight, and whenever you think you're finished fighting, you're going to fight some more. They've got a bunch of different ways that you can actually fight, which is one of the things I was saying about how they disguise it. So you're fighting, but you're doing it in a lot of different ways. Of course, starting off, there's the story, which basically starts at the beginning, and you work your way through a storyline and basically go through and fight with almost every single one of the characters. So it's a lot of fun. It's a good way to dip into the characters and actually learn how to fight with each one of them. There's the challenge tower, and what this is it just starts off with a simple challenge. After you beat that, you move up to the next level in the tower and work on beating that one, and then as you progress, the challenges get harder and harder, and you win more and more money as you go up. There's ladder fights that you can do, and these are the same thing as the towers, but you basically go through and they pick X amount of people that you'll fight, and you pick the character that you want to use, and as you go along, the more people you beat, the more money you get, and again, you get to the top of the ladder to the final boss and work on fighting them and beating them. Of course, you can do all this stuff online. You can play online against other players. There's the training and the fighting. So if you want to pick a particular player and just mess around and work on some of the combos that you get, you can always jump in the training modes. And then of course there's the fatalities, and you can actually train on those, and then you can use those on the game as you go. Like I mentioned, you can fight online. Now you can fight with friends. You can have 1 to 4 players that you fight with or fight against, and with 2 players it's 1 versus 1. With 4 players, what you do is you have you and another person will be a tag team, and then the 2 other opponents will be a tag team, and so the objective is to knock each one of the opponents out, and the first one to do that is the winner of the round. About everything that you do on this, you're going to be working on making money, and you use this money that you make and you go and spend in the crypt. Now in the crypt, there's a bunch of things that you can do. You can unlock cheats, you can unlock costume concepts, alternate costume concepts, fatality moves. There's unlockable fatality moves, which I've posted a game on. Concept art, music, damage, character concept, as well as other things. I mean, there's really a lot of things that you can unlock there. And you're going to have a lot of money to do it, though. So you'll find yourself probably doing these things more than one time in order to save up money if this is something you want to try to unlock everything. you're going to need a lot of money to do it. Another question is, how long can I expect to play Mortal Kombat before I beat everything? And to be quite honest, man, this game has a lot to do, and it really surprised me whenever I first started getting into it. I'm going to guess that you have anywhere between 14 to 18 hours total game time, and that's not even including multiplayer. That's just all the single player stuff that you can do. Right now, I'd probably estimate I've got about 10 hours in it, and feel like I know the game well, but still have enough stuff to keep me busy for another few hours at least. And of course, there's always some dislikes that you have about any game that you play, and I do still have dislikes about this one. First of all, the thing that stuck out the absolute most were, like I had mentioned before, just the controls and the special combos. They're hard to pull off, but they don't ever remain consistent. So if you get lucky and you pull one off, even if you know what you're supposed to do to be able to pull them off, it doesn't always work. And I don't know. I haven't found a way around that. I haven't found a key that just makes them where they work every time consistently. But that was one of the things that I really got frustrated with. Another thing is, in the end, all you do is fight. Again, they disguise it in many different ways, but I would end up having to take a break and do something else, just because I would either get frustrated that I couldn't beat somebody, or I just get tired of doing the same thing. Another thing is there is a kind of a mismatch of these AI, and what I mean by that is there are times that you'll jump on and I'll be playing AI on the story mode or something like that, and there just will not seem to be a way that you can beat these guys. No matter what you do, they always end up just pelting you in the face and taking you out. And after enough trial and error, it seems like I always find this one move that is just their Achilles heel, and they can't do anything about it. And that's what ends up knocking them out. And it's like I would like to be able to mix things up and keep it fun, and not get so frustrated that I don't care that I'm shooting a fireball at their feet 100 times in order to win the game. But at the point that I would figure that out, I'd be so frustrated I wouldn't really care anyway. So here's a few things that stood out while I was playing a game. Of course, first of all, the graphics were good. And I don't know if you guys have played DC versus Mortal Kombat, but they had this 3D rotational thing that they had in that game, and they took that out. So this is just straight 2D, and I really like that a lot more than I like the moving around and things like that. This game is just made to be played that way. It was made to be played that way back in the original one, and I just feel like it's a lot more fluid being able to do it that way. Of course, the fatalities kept me laughing, man. They were awesome. They were very creative. It's always funny to see how creative they can get with these, and just when you think they won't outdo each other, sure enough they do. Another thing, the story, of course, it was engaging, I thought, and it really forced you to learn, like I had mentioned earlier, it forced you to learn all of the characters that you were playing with. So it kind of gives you a good base for figuring out which character fits your play style. And in many ways, they help you train for these characters as well through the training modes, and you can pick those specific characters and go and just work on them. Now, there is some advice that I would give you prior to purchasing, or after you have purchased, before you actually get on and start playing. But go online and find some of these combo moves and key moves for your characters, because they honestly, you kind of have to have them until you do them enough and get them down, that you just got to be able to remember them, and it comes in handy to have a sheet in front of you that kind of says what you need to do and when you need to do it. Some of my final thoughts on the game, of course, I like this game. I think it's a good game. I don't think this is a great game. It definitely isn't one of the ones that has stuck out the most in these games that I've been reviewing, but it has kept me entertained. I mean, I'm still playing it, played it again tonight. So it's a good game, and it will keep you entertained. It's not great. I honestly liked the Marvel vs. Capcom more, but I think they're was probably more offered in this game as far as different things to do. But I guess I liked the comic book characters more than anything. But anyway, yeah, so this Mortal Kombat, regardless, it still offers hours of mindless fun with a multiplayer. Man, I'm not telling, no telling how many hours you could end up playing on it. But I would probably bet that would be many more than I have initially anticipated. And then, of course, the final question, I say, would I purchase this? And the answer to me is, guys, if you're going to buy 5 or more games a year, this would be a good one to purchase under the conditions that I listed at the very beginning of this commentary. First of all, you've got to like those fighting games. You don't mind the blood and gore. You don't mind the repetitive fighting play style that you're going to be entering into. It is fun, but like I said, you do the same thing over and over again from the beginning of the game to the end. And another thing, just make sure you don't mind being patient. You got to be a patient person, learn those character moves and learn those controls. I guess all in all, guys, like I said, that's about it. I have really enjoyed playing this game. I hate that this review has taken so long to actually make it out to you guys. But, you know, if you have any questions, like I said, I feel like I've played this game enough that I could confidently answer questions for you guys that you may have about the game. And again, I hope you guys like the commentary. I hope you guys like the gameplay that I chose to show you kind of as I went through this, and I hope you like the fatalities that I brought you prior to this game. If you have, always feel free to rate, comment, or subscribe, guys. Until the next time, this is The Average Gamer. I am out. I appreciate everything. You'll have a good night. Peace.